Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the Park Village Compton Crips. Park Village Compton Crips became Crips in the 70s, getting their name after a complex called Park Village, which is now called the Jasmine Gardens. The Park Village Compton Crips are one of the first Crip gangs in LA County to have a multi-race gang, having Samoans claiming the area and being together as one with the black residents. Park Village Compton Crips refer to themselves as the Ya Gang and call Compton Yampton. The hood is centered around housing projects like Wilmington Arms, where they have a long history of crazy things happening there. Park Village even wears St. Louis Cardinals hats to rep Laurel Street, the same street that Wilmington Arms sits on. The Park Village Crips have been beefing with Pirus for decades. They beef with hoods like Westside Piru, 151 Piru, and Cedar Block Piru, just to name a few. And just cause they're Crips, don't mean they haven't been beefing with Crips either. Park Village beef for Crip hoods like Santana Block, Pocket Hood, and Neighborhood Compton Crips, just to name a few. The Park Village Compton Crips are on good terms with other Crips sets like Nutty Block, the Southside Compton Crips, and the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips, with them all having a lot of the same rivals, causing them all to have an alliance. They even did a video called Mafia Thing, featuring all rappers from each set. Park Village is also the set Roddy Ricch claims. He did a lot of his early videos in the Wilmington Arms, but some months back, a dude from Park Village tried to expose Roddy Ricch on Clubhouse, with the biggest gossip and blood of them all, Whack 100 being the mediator. Roddy Ricch quickly defended himself and his crippin', so it was a back and forth for who was valid and who wasn't. But you'll have to really be from over there to say Roddy was, or if he wasn't. When you blow up and start getting dough, dudes try to extort you and try to badmouth your name. So this could just be hating, or it could be true, but who knows. Outside of the African Americans from Park Village, the Samoan side of Park Village beefs with other Samoan gangs in nearby cities like Carson and Long Beach. They beef with hoods like Sons of Samoa, the Westside Carson Pirus, and the Samoan Warrior Bounty Hunters, just to name a few. With that being said, let's get into some cases. In this first case, I'm going to talk about Goldie, who was a reputable white dude from Park Village. On October 8th, 1998, three Lueders parked Pirus, Damien, Antoine, and Marcus were driving through their turf when police stopped them on Bullets Road. When they pulled them out the car, the three Pirus seen a green Cadillac drive by. The police impounded the Pirus' car because they didn't have a license. This led them to walk. When they were walking, they encountered one of their homies named Emmanuel near apartments on Bullets. The same green Cadillac pulled up and began shooting. One of the passengers stood out to the Pirus. It was the white dude shooting. Emmanuel was the only one shot, being shot in the leg, even though the white dude fired 8 times. Right after the shooting, the green Cadillac pulled up to the Wilmington Arms complex, a known area for the Park Village Compton Crips. The security guards let the car through, and after 10 minutes, police pulled up to the Wilmington Arms looking for the car and the shooters. One of the security guards showed the cops where the car was. The police didn't find the suspects, but they impounded the car. The security guard who showed the police where the car was feared for his life and quit. The police took the three Lueder parked Pirus to identify the car. Instead of getting revenge and sliding back, the Pirus slid on some police documents and told everything. They said the shooter was white, and the Pirus identified the car. The car was registered to Goldie, and they even said he was the shooter. Goldie wasn't arrested then, but on October 9th, Goldie pressed a security guard named Walter about the other security guard telling the police about his car. Walter would say he was scared from then on. So on January 3rd, 1999, Goldie was back riding in his green Cadillac. Goldie was in and out the Wilmington Arms the whole night. By 11:15, a woman named Michelle heard Goldie and 2 other men yelling at the guards and saying how they was finna get him. On 5 a.m., 4 security guards were in their booth when they heard someone yell. Then next, boom! Goldie was blasting. Goldie shot over 15 times. Goldie took the life of 2 security guards and severely injured 2. Goldie probably was the coldest white boy before Tommy on Power. Only thing he messed up was he left several witnesses. He was later arrested 2 days in Lancaster. At trial, the 2 security guards that lived testified, and also one of the Lueder Park Pirus snitched. Goldie will be sentenced to life. $100 from Vanessa and her phone. They even came up on 2 straps from James. Shortly after, Vanessa bought a new iPhone and logged into her iCloud. She found photos on her iCloud that she never even took, and guess who they was from? The robber. This doofus really kept the phone, didn't sell it, or didn't even log out her iCloud. This fool made the police job easy. They even found his location from the phone. His name was Looney, and he was from Park Village. Looney was loony out his damn mind to really keep this phone. Looney would end up receiving a life sentence. Around midnight on August 14th, 2014, a shooting happened on Maple Street in Compton. Keywan was inside the house where his brother Sly and his friend Ronald and Reg were outside chilling. Keywan then heard 7 to 10 shots. He then ran outside and seen Reg was crawling to the driveway. He had been shot multiple times and he lost his life. Karma hit a few hours later because the car that was used in the shooting got into a bad car accident and crashed into a pole. The shooter was a guy named Lamont. He even had the same strap in the car that he used in the shooting, but he wasn't arrested at the time. He was just taken to the hospital for his injuries. Several months after the shooting, Lamont was arrested on a parole violation. In his text messages, police found a lot of evidence incriminating him. He basically snitched on himself. He was talking to another Park Village Crip about the shootings he did, his straps jamming, and also dissing other hoods. Lamont was from Park Village. The shooting occurred in Cedar Piru's turf. Reg was wearing red, and that was the motive, catching multiple bloods. He was meant to lose this case. More and more evidence came against Lamont. It was camera footage of Lamont driving an area right after the shooting. He had cell phone records tracing back to the area, and also his text messages. He was done for. Lamont was sentenced to 80 years to life. September 20th, 2014. Around 10 at night, Amber was chilling with her friend Uzell in the Wilmington Arms. Amber was looking at her phone, and as she looked up, she seen a man named Roberto smile at her as he was walking by. Amber smiled back, but this was a smile of death, because Roberto then pulled out a strap and yelled, "Where you from, fool?" Roberto then started firing at the crowd. Uzell was shot, and another man named Swan was shot. Swan later picked out a man named Crazo as the second shooter. Roberto must have really been tweaking. They found this dude right in front of the Wilmington Arms in front of a bush. Both Swan and Uzell survived their injuries. Amber even picked Roberto out as the shooter and picked him out of a lineup. Police found both straps used in the shooting as well, and they both was in the same bush that Roberto was in. Police also found crystal on Roberto, so he for sure was tweaked out, moving like a dimwit. Bro was so high, he probably was just sitting on the street waiting to be arrested. Roberto ended up being sentenced to life. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.